Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. I'm your host, Josh Davis, also known as Crash, and I am here today to talk about the 9-game slate for Major League Baseball tonight. If you're new to the channel, if you would hit the like button and then hit subscribe. After you've done those two things, if you would hit the alarm bell, that will let you know when our newest podcast has gone live. If you're new to DFS Coach Talk, we would love to have you join us. We have memberships that start as low as $4.99 a week. We do have our yearly special for just $99. You get the whole year. So what does that give you? That gives you Major League Baseball, of course, NBA and NFL, which will be starting soon. So Steve and I are very excited about that. He will be back with me covering NFL this year. And of course, Deb will help as well. So we are very excited about the kickoff of the NFL in just over a month from now. And so besides that, we also have PGA and some MMA and NASCAR from time to time as well. So we would love to have you join us. Like I said, for as little as $4.99 a week or the $99 a year is the best value. So join us. Send us a DM on Twitter. I guess it's still Twitter, X, whatever they're calling it now. Send it at DFS Coach Talk, and we'll be glad to get you into our Discord. We have a very family-friendly, very positive community in our Discord, and we post lineups on there every day. We get a DraftKings core and FanDuel and Yahoo full lineups for all the major sports that we talked about before. So hope to see you soon. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this slate today for Monday, July 31st, last day of August. I really can't believe it, but it sure is. So before I get into that, let me go ahead and actually look at the chat and see who all is here today. Derek Wilson, what's going on, bud? Doug, good to see you, man. All right, so we have at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, the Tampa Bay Rays taking on the New York Yankees. Tyler Glasnow against Domingo Germán. The Rays are minus 142 on the run line, on the money line. The over/under is implied of 8.5 runs. 82 degrees, wind blowing out at 8 miles an hour. We have no confirmed lineups so far. Let me check again. Yeah, no confirmed lineups. Projected lineup for the Rays: Yandy Diaz, Wander Franco, Luke Raley, Randy Arozarena, Brandon Lau, Isaac Paredes, Josh Lowe, Jose Siri, and Christian Betancourt. For the Yankees, Gleyber Torres, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Billy McKinney, Harrison Bader, Anthony Volpe, and Kyle Higashioka. Next game at 7:05 p.m. Eastern, the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Washington Nationals. Corbin Burns against Jake Irvin. Milwaukee's a minus 205 favorite. Over/under of 8.5 runs as well. Wind is blowing 7 miles an hour. Doesn't actually say which direction, but it is blowing at 7 miles an hour. It's 81 degrees. The projected lineup for the Brewers: Christian Yelich, William Contreras, Carlos Santana, Sal Frelick, Willie Adames, Abraham Monasterio, Andrew, my goodness, my names are all messed up. Andrew Monasterio, Abraham Toro, Bryce Terang, and Joey Wiemer. For the Nationals, CJ Abrams, Lane Thomas, Keibert Ruiz, Joey Meneses, Dominic Smith, Luis Garcia, Ildemaro Vargas, Corey Dickerson, and Alex Call. The next game is at 7:05 p.m. Eastern. The Baltimore Orioles in Toronto taking on the Blue Jays. Kyle Gibson against Chris Bassitt. Toronto's a minus 130 favorite. Over/under of 9 runs. They're indoors, so there's no weather. We have confirmed lineup of Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, Anthony Santander, Ryan O'Hearn, Ryan Mountcastle, Adam Frazier, Austin Hayes, Colton Cowser, and Jorge Mateo for the Orioles. For the Blue Jays, we have Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette, Brandon Belt, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Matt Chapman, Dalton Varsho, Alejandro Kirk, Kevin Biggio, and Kevin Kiermaier. Next game, 7:20 p.m. Eastern. The Los Angeles Angels taking on the Atlanta Braves. Good luck, LA. Man, the Braves lineup is unreal. So Griffin Canning taking on Charlie Morton. Atlanta minus 218 favorite, over under of 10 runs. Wind is blowing left to right at 10 miles an hour. It's 89 degrees. For the Angels, Zach Neto, Shohei Ohtani, Mickey Moniak, CJ Crone, and Randall Grichuk, the two recently acquired Angels, are supposed to both be in the lineup today for the Angels, so that will help. They'll need all the firepower they can get against that Braves lineup. But anyway, so yeah, Grichuk and Crone are both in the lineup. Mike Moustakas, Hunter Renfroe, Matt Tice, and Luis Rengifo. For the Braves, their usual lineup, with the exception of Travis d'Arnaud, who's in for Sean Murphy today, Ronald Acuna Jr., Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Matt Olson, Travis d'Arnaud, Marcelo Ozuna, Eddie Rosario, Orlando Arcia, and Michael Harris. Next game is at 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Cincinnati Reds taking on the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field. Andrew Abbott against Marcus Stroman. Chicago's a minus 120 favorite. 8 implied runs. Wind 9 miles an hour, blowing right to left, 75 degrees. Confirmed lineup for Cincinnati: Elly De La Cruz, TJ Friedl, Matt McClain, Jake Fraley, Spencer Steer, Joey Votto, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Will Benson, Luke Maile. For the Cubs, their projected lineup: Nico Herner, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, Cody Bellinger, Yan Gomes, Dansby Swanson, Christopher Morel, Patrick Wisdom, and Trey Mancini. Next game is at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. The Cleveland Guardians taking on the Houston Astros. Noah Syndergaard against JP France. Houston a minus 175 favorite, over under of 9 runs. So this is going to be the debut for Syndergaard. He was involved in the trade with the Cleveland and LA, and Rosario went to the Dodgers. So and I feel like there was somebody else. I can't remember. But yeah, Ahmed Rosario was definitely one of the guys involved in that trade. Projected lineup for the Guardians: Stephen Kwan, Andre Jimenez, Jose Ramirez, Josh Naylor, Josh Bell, Will Brennan, Gabriel Arias, Bo Naylor, and Miles Straw. For the Astros, Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, Chas McCormick, Corey Julks, and Martin Maldonado. Then we have at 8:40 p.m. Eastern, the San Diego Padres taking on the Rockies in Coors. Seth Lugo against Austin Gomber. San Diego a minus 198 favorite. Over under of 11.5 runs, which, as you would expect, is the highest total on the night. 83 degrees, wind blowing right to left at 10 miles an hour. We do have a pretty high chance of rain, so we'll have to see what happens there. But assuming this game plays, I would expect this game to see a lot of ownership. So we have the Padres, especially on the San Diego side. So the Padres projected lineup: Jake Cronenworth, Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Luis Campusano, Matthew Batten, Gary Sanchez, and Trent Grisham. And then for the Rockies, they have a projected lineup of Jurickson Profar, Ezekiel Tovar, Ryan McMahon, Elias Diaz, Michael Toglia, Nolan Jones, Brendan Rodgers, Ilhuris Montero, and Brendan Doyle. Next game is at 9:40 p.m. Eastern. The Boston Red Sox taking on the Seattle Mariners. Nick Pivetta against George Kirby. Seattle minus 130 favorite, over under of 7.5 runs. We have, for the Red Sox, their projected lineup is Jarren Duran, Justin Turner, Masataka Yoshida, Rafael Devers, Adam Duvall, Alex Verdugo, Tristan Casas, Connor Wong, and Yu Chang. For the Mariners, J.P. Crawford, Julio Rodriguez, Eugenio Suarez, Teoscar Hernandez, Mike Ford, Ty France, Cal Raleigh, Cade Marlowe, and Colton Wong. Last game of the night, 9:45 p.m. Eastern, the Arizona Diamondbacks taking on the San Francisco Giants in San Francisco. Ryan Nelson against Alex Cobb. San Francisco is a minus 142 favorite. Over under of 8 runs, 63 degrees, wind blowing out at 26 miles an hour. But as we've talked about, they have that vortex in that stadium. So the wind's really just kind of a non-factor in most cases because it's just so crazy. It blows in all the different directions. So for the Diamondbacks, you have a projected lineup of Geraldo Perdomo, Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll, Christian Walker, Dominic Canzone, I should say, Emmanuel Rivera, Jake McCarthy, Carson Kelly, and Alec Thomas. For the Giants, Lamonte Wade, Michael Conforto, J.D. Davis, Jock Peterson, Luis Matos, Blake Sable, Patrick Bailey, Marco Luciano, and Casey Schmidt. So that is going to do it for the game-by-game overview. Before we take a look at my top plays and fade pitcher, let's go ahead and take a look at the chat and see what's going on there. All right, so for pay-up pitchers, I like Tyler Glasnow. He's 10-5 on DraftKings, 10-6 on FanDuel, $54 on Yahoo. He has been, very good since he's returned from his injury earlier this year. He's allowed 2 runs or less in 7 of his 11 starts, 1 run or less in 6 of those 7. And the Yankees have been about average in strikeout rate this year. They have been striking out at a higher rate lately. Yesterday, they actually had the highest strikeout on the day at 45%. So if Glasnow can avoid, the big hits and get the strikeouts like he normally does, it should be a pretty decent matchup for him. Not a really great slate as far as pitching, in my opinion. There are a couple options that I like, but no slam dunks on this slate, in my opinion. All right, so next would be Corbin Burns. He's 10-2 on DraftKings, 10-4 on FanDuel, $52 on Yahoo. Going up against the Nationals in Washington. They do have one of the lowest strikeout rates, the second lowest actually. But at home, they've been struggling to score runs. They've only scored 4.02 runs per game, which is tied with San Francisco for the 5th fewest. Burns has been very good his last couple starts. Especially his last 5 starts, he's allowed 2 runs or less. He's had 2 shutouts in 2 of his last 3 starts. Those were both on the road against the Phillies and the Reds. Against Philadelphia, he had 8 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts for 64 fantasy points and 6 shutout innings with 13 strikeouts against the Reds for 67 fantasy points. So those 2 last starts on the road were his best starts of the year. So hopefully that continues tonight. And then for value, I like Alex Cobb. He's 8,000 on DraftKings, 8,900 on FanDuel, $38 on Yahoo. I knew he was going to be a pretty good value option, but his numbers at home are absolutely pretty incredible. So he is going up against Arizona. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, so they've really been struggling here lately. Cobb has been very, very good at home. He's allowed no more than 2 runs in any of his 8 home starts, and he has 5 shutouts in those 8 home starts. So very good at home, especially. He did face Arizona earlier this year. It was on June 13th. He pitched 7 1/3 shutout innings with 3 strikeouts for 41 fantasy points. And I think he should have very low ownership tonight. So that wasn't on June 13th. That was somebody else. Actually, I misspoke. But yeah, he pitched against Arizona earlier this year. It may have been like in May or something. It was pretty earlier in the season. But yeah, he's been very good, especially at home this year. And like I said, his ownership should be pretty low. My fade pitcher is going to be Chris Bassitt. He's 7,500 on DraftKings, 9,100 on FanDuel, $43 on Yahoo. He's going up against Baltimore. Earlier this year, he was actually the one that pitched on June 13th. So on June 13th, he pitched only 3 innings. He allowed 8 runs for no fantasy points. So this is a team that's already hit him pretty well this year. I think they'll feel pretty good. One of the biggest reasons, though, that I'm fading him is he's only 7,500 on DraftKings. And I think he's going to see a pretty decent amount of ownership with people targeting those Padre bats and cores, assuming that game can play. If they don't play the Padres, they'll probably play the Braves, who are also very expensive. So between those two teams, I think that they'll see the most ownership, which means that you'll have to pay down for pitching. And I think Bassitt will be very popular. So I'm going to be fading him today. My BVP play of the day is Giancarlo Stanton. He's $4,900 on DraftKings, $3,200 on FanDuel, $13 on Yahoo. Not a huge sample size. He's hit 400 with 4 hits and 10 at-bats against Tyler Glasnow. 3 of those 4 hits were home runs, though, and he is playing in New York in that short porch, to the right side that he likes to hit. So I do like Giancarlo Stanton. My other favorite home run call is another guy that really smashes at home, especially. It's Matt Olson. He's hit 272 against right-handed pitchers, with 30 of his 35 home runs coming against right-handed pitchers, including 2 yesterday against my Brewers. So, yeah, Matt Olson, I really like the way he's swinging the ball. My favorite stacks, the top 2, the Braves and the Padres, they'll probably be the highest owned on the slate, I would think, unless people try to pay up for pitching and down for bats. The Braves and the Padres should be pretty high owned. If you do pay up for pitching, the Brewers should probably be a pretty decent owned stack against the Nationals. And then the Giants would be my sleeper up against the Arizona Diamondbacks at home. So I do like the Giants and GPPs. My parlay play plays are going to be, first of all, if you haven't joined ParlayPlay yet, they're a very, very up and coming prop bet site. You can join them, use the promo code Coach Talk. They will 100% match your first deposit up to $100, and they also give you a free $5 play. So go join ParlayPlay. It's at ParlayPlay on Twitter or X. Got to get used to that. Or you can join them on the website, parlayplay.io. So that is their website. But my top plays for ParlayPlay, Matt Olson, more than 12.5 fantasy points. As I talked about, he's my home run call. The red hot Austin Riley, and more than 1.5 total bases. I feel like he hit a home run in almost every game against the Brewers. So I do like him tonight to get more than 1.5 bases. And then the play I've been playing a lot, and I'm surprised that some of these prop bet sites still even have it up on their boards, is Shohei Ohtani more than 0.5 runs. So all he has to do is score 1 run. Obviously, if he hits a home run, he's going to do that. But they've even had that play hit when he's just been getting walked because other guys will hit him in and stuff. So more than 0.5 runs for Shohei Ohtani, I think that's definitely a solid play tonight. So that's going to do it, guys, for today's baseball podcast. We should have another one later on this week, probably Deb on Thursday, possibly. And then I'm going to try and have one for you guys again on Friday. So hope everybody has an awesome Monday as we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, and ParlayPlay. Thank you.